Hello. So I want to talk about storage options, and today I want to talk about network share. But before we talk about network share, I want to just quickly go through different type of storage. So the first type of storage, we call this here. The first type of storage, we're going to call it. First type of storage, we're going to call block storage. A second type of storage, we'll call this. We'll call it. What kind of storage? The second type of storage is called it's called object storage, and a third type of storage is called now that type of storage is called file storage. So these are three types of storage. What is block storage? Which is object, which is file storage. Now block storage, basically from how you get it. So block storage has a block format. Yeah. So it has a block format. So for example, let's do this. So this is block storage. So the storage format. Let's do this. So if you divide it into blocks, so it consists of block formats basically. And one thing about this block format is that you don't have to write data onto contiguous sectors. Yeah. So you can write let's say 1, you can write 3 here, you can write 7 here, you can write 9 here, and that data will still be accessed randomly. Data will just, if you want to get a data, you just point to it. So that means it is fast. You don't have to go through all these to get, let's say 1, you want to go to 2. You don't have to go through all this. You just point to 2 and you get that data. So we can say that the time complexity of that, we can just say O to the power of 1. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how much. So you just get your data the way you want. So that is block storage. So block storage is great for high performance computing basically. Yeah. So it's great for that kind of workload, and it's usually, this is the one that you attach to your storage devices, especially on AWS EC2 instance. Then we have object storage, which is called flat storage. So object storage is basically flat storage. So this is flat storage, meaning the main purpose of this particular storage is just to store a lot of static data. So you have a lot of static data, it's easier to store it on flat storage. Yeah. So videos, a lot of static content and images and all that stuff, you download it here. So it has a flat structure. There's no it has basically a flat structure. So you use it for a lot of archiving data. And then when you go back to file storage is what you call so file storage is basically hierarchical. So this is basically hierarchy. So you get here, okay, let me see here, hierarchy. So this has hierarchy to it. So file storage is hierarchy. So you get that classic hierarchy with this. Yeah. So this is basically hierarchical. So you know how hierarchy looks like, where you have root. You basically have something like root. You have something like root. And then from root, now we get to points that from root you get to root to this particular point, and then you take this. So from root you can go to different files, var, home, all this. So when you're accessing file, you're basically going hierarchically. So you go from root to this to this. So this file storage is used specifically for shared files, workloads. So if you want to do shared workloads, especially on a network where everybody gets access to a particular network drive, we talk about file storage, and that's what we want to talk about. So we want to talk about file storage with elastic file system. So let's talk about file storage with elastic file system, AWS. So we want to just talk about file storage with EFS, and the good thing with EFS, you can provision it very fast. You can provision it instantly. Yeah. So you can provision this instantly. You just have to do a little bit of clicks in your buttons. So let's look at how you actually get to do that. So what the hell happened here? I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened here, but that's okay. So so we are here. So first thing, just come and type EFS. Now you guys, we've talked about block storage, where your EC2 instance, where you attach. EFS is like shared network drive. So how do we implement that on something like cloud on AWS? So when you come here, let's create a file system. Simple. And then we're going to say this is test EFS, test EFS, yeah, test EFS demo. I don't know, demo. Okay, and then you're going to have to pick a VPC, because this is a network shared drive, so you're only going to be able to share it with with the devices that are in your particular network, which is a VPC in this case. So you're going to pick that particular one and then create it. See how that it took an instant, and we already created our network shared drive, which is elastic file system. And the great thing about elastic file system, it scales depends. So if I put in data worth let's say 200 gigabyte, then it will scale elastically. So 200 gigabyte and 200 gigabyte. So if I do 200 gigabytes, it will basically scale to 200 gigabytes. If I take it out to 20 KB, it will do that. Yeah. So I don't have to actually provision for for how much storage I actually need in this case. So we have basically this. So this is our file system. So here we go. Now check it out. So basically this, and by default you can see size is 6 kilobytes. Basically, we have here, and we also have a DNS name. This is our DNS name. You could do DNS name or IP address, but DNS name looks kind of cool. You can decide to monitor this using things like CloudWatch, and you can always tag your network. So now we want to actually want to make use of this. So how do you do this? So in this case, we are assuming we already set this up in our network, and on AWS we are going to implement this using EC2 instance. So we are going to use EC2 instance as our basic network, as our our computer, the terminals that we want to actually set up network shared drive. So we're going to just do EC2. Let's open that. Let's open EC2 in a new tab. That should be good. Always open that in a new tab. So like this. So this is 6 KIB, and when you put things inside here, it scales. And you're wondering, how do I put data inside this? That is pretty okay. No worries. You'll sort it out. So let's come here, and I want us to launch instance. Now, one thing you need to know with the fact that it is a shared drive, meaning I can have 1 computer, 2 computers, 3 computers accessing it at the same time. So I want to show that on AWS using EC2 instance. So let's launch EC2. We want to launch specifically 2 of them. I want to launch EC2 instance. Let's see cd keys. Sorry, cd keys. ls. Okay, I have both of those. So we're going to talk about EFS demo. Let's just call it EFS demo. We're going to use Linux 2. T2 micro is okay. I'm going to select which one was that? Was that auth 0? Let's see. I'm not sure. Was that auth 0? Let's see. Okay, so cd and then keys ls was okay, auth 0, it works. So you can use auth 0 in this case, and then make sure to select network. So launchpad is it, public US East 1, USD is A, B, whatever. Pick that. Auto assign IP address. So I want to enable auto assign IP address. I want to select this particular one. Let's talk about this. Now, there's a lot of security groups that exist here. So with this, we are pretty much okay. To do that. So one thing, I want to launch 2 EC2 instances because I want to show network shared drive. So I'm going to click on that to launch. cancel. I have a problem. Something that I'm not sure if I did or not. But let's do if EFS demo. Let's cancel that. Let's cancel that and redo it again, because I have forgotten to actually add this to our specific our specific this. Let's see, not working. Let's look at state, instance state. I don't even need that. I can terminate. Sorry about that. So let's launch a new instance. Let's just launch 2 new instances. Let's call it EFS demo. Go here. Basically T2 micro auth 0. Select edit this launchpad. Let's do A. I'm not sure. Select existing this security groups. Come in here. This is a lot of security groups. Silverspark SG, I'm sure I know what that works with. And then we come to file system. So this is where we edit. So here you need to click on your in this case, this is an EFS. Yeah. So in this case, this is test EFS demo. Yeah. This is what we selected. You know, this is what we created. This is the file, the network shared drive that we created in this case. So make sure it is selected. Now you can do this through EFS or what we call FSX, managed service using FSX for, FSX covers things like Windows FSX. We have things like NetApp, ONTAP, or things like OpenZFS. But we'll basically use this first. So when you click that, you make sure you're good. So I guess we're good now. Make sure that is selected. And then let's launch our 2 instances. And now we are cool to actually, continue with this particular use case. Okay, so let's wait for our instances to actually launch. So we're going to have a lot of these running around, but that's okay. A lot of instances running around. So I can come here and clear my filters, and then I only want to see this. So let's talk about instance state. We can select equals. Let's talk about running now, basically. So we have EFS demo. We have 2 of these running, and then wait for it. So what we want to do is we want to log into these particular servers, and then so let's give this demo 1. That should be good, and let's give this demo 2 just so we know what we're talking about. So click. Good. Didn't we do this as demo 1? Good. So we have demo 1 so that we know exactly what we're doing. So we're initializing and status checks and all these 2 of these. So what we want to do is we want to actually log into this. So let's do this. So in this case, we're going to basically, so let's SSH into that EFS demo 1. Yeah. And one thing, let's go into keys. CD keys. So I have this, okay, Nginx. And what I need to do is let's click for this. So for this particular one, let's see the IP address. Let's see the IP address. Whoa. So I forgot to actually add. So in this case, I forgot to actually add a public internet IPv4 address to auto assign. So what I'm going to do is because of that is I'm going to add an elastic IP. Yeah. So I'm going to add an elastic IP. So let me duplicate this tab. Sorry. So you must know. So in case you didn't auto assign IP address, you need to add an elastic IP. So in this case, I'm going to talk about why is this loading very slowly. So I'm going to add an IP because I need to I need a public IPv4 address. Or do I have? I do not have a public IP. Yep. Yeah. Let's add elastic. So in this case, let's talk about elastic IP. So elastic IP is in the VPC. It is in the VPC, basically VPC console. So we can go there to add an elastic IP. So at least we're building in real time. So when you forget to actually auto assign. So we're going to come here to elastic IPs. So elastic IP addresses. So let's click on that, and then we're going to allocate elastic IPs. So I'm going to come here and allocate elastic IP on US East 1. Tag. Tagging resources is a good practice. So I'm going to name tag. It's a name tag, and I'm going to call it EFS demo 1. So this is for EFS. Name tag EFS demo 1. So this is specifically so I know this is allocated to this. So allocate. So once I allocate this, I'm going to associate it to an instance in this case, either an instance or a network interface. So I'm going to choose an instance, and I'm going to associate it with this particular one. Allow this to be associated. I don't need that right now. So I'm going to associate that with demo 1. I'm also going to allocate a second one, and let me give it a name tag. I'm going to give it a name tag EFS first demo 2 EFS, and then I can allocate that. So this is just an extra step because we had an issue So we can associate that with let's see, EFS demo 2 running. Then I can associate that. Then we should be good. So this is the next step that happened because this happened because so specifically. So when we come back to our IP address, let's see, if you reload, you see now we have a public IP address in this case. So we have associated that. So you can see we have a public IP address. That's pretty good. Let's do that. So let's copy that. So we're going to come into our instance here. So we're going to do SSH-I, and then we're going to pass we're going to pass auth.pem, and then since we're using Linux 2 EC2 user, then we're going to paste that, and then we're going to say yes. Okay, so now we actually launched. So now we're logged inside here. pwd. So now we're logged in. So the next thing we're going to do is in order to access our shared network drive, one thing we're going to do is we need to create a mount point for this. Now, mount point is usually, you'd be advised to create it in different places like the mount, but we're not going to care about that. We're just going to do something. So we're going to do sudo mkdir make directory, and then we're going to say EFS demo 1. Let's call it EFS demo 1. So ls. So now that we have EFS demo 1, now we need to come here and mount our network drive. So this is our network drive, yeah. So we click on, if you click on attach, then you're going to get this. So we have this command called sudo. So you can mount via IP address or mount via DNS name. It's just going to pick this particular IP address. Any of them will work, but I prefer this. So now, so this is, we're going to use NFS client. So NFS is basically one of the network protocols. We have NFS used mostly for Linux, which is network file NFS, and then we have SMB, 2 types. So we are going to have this command, and we're going to simply come here and copy it. So you're simply going to come here and copy your command. So you're going to come here and paste. So let's talk about this command. So we have sudo mount, so it's giving you those root permissions. So we are mounting T. T stands for type. We are mounting an NFS type, NFS 4 with an O flag. Now this gives us more. So NFS version specifically 4.1, and then we have read buffer size as that, write buffer size as that, hard time 600, retransmit twice, no report. So we have a lot of these things. And then we are mounting this particular FS share using DNS. So this is the one that we are mounting from. And then where are we mounting it? We are mounting it now to EFS demo 1. EFS demo 1. Sorry. Something happened. Did my computer freeze? My computer froze. Okay, sorry. Guys, my computer froze. That is not cool. This froze. Okay, I'm not sure what is going on, but this actually froze. Everything is working fine. So why did this freeze exactly? Okay, what the hell is happening here? So okay, I guess this froze. So we can let's redo that. Let's close this tab. So let's close that tab and just redo the same thing. Let's just redo that. So ls, so cd, and then let's go to keys. And should go in here. Okay, good. So pwd, right? Oh, okay. So pwd. So I guess sudo mkdir. That didn't happen. Sudo mkdir EFS demo 1 basically. What do you mean the file exists? Oh, okay, but okay, pwd. Okay, it already exists. So and now let's mount this particular thing again. So copy mount, and then let's just do this and paste it. So everything works until you come here and say EFS demo 1, and boom, you're good. So if you go to cd demo cd EFS demo, so now we have nothing. So this is now the shared file drive. Now we want to do something on it, so we can actually create something. We can create something like echo this is a shared drive, as a shared drive. This is a shared drive, then boom, I can do that, and then say test.txt. test.txt. Okay, why do I have to, why does it, because I used echo text.txt, so sudo echo that. Okay, that should be a problem. Sudo let's see so ls okay, so let's do this. Let's do echo. This is weird. This is weird. Test.txt. So I don't know why that. So I can do cat test, and that this is weird. So we have actually that created. We can also add something like I think I have this. Let me go to bucket S3. I think I have S3 somewhere. I think I have one for demonstrating this. I think I have one for demonstrating this. Where is this? I think I have Kefir 59 buckets, so I can come here to nope. So I have this cloud project EFS backup. Let's say this, for example, and I have something like this. So if I have something like this, and let's talk about its URL. So I can have object URL. So with that, I can simply come here and do a wget and paste that URL, and I should be able to download that particular video. So downloading that video. So if I do ls, yeah, I can also do it again just to make it as big. And so download it. Good. So you can now see, so this is it. So so if you go to that file, here we are. So this is now stored in that network shared drive. Now what can we do? We can exit this and then closed. So we're good. So now we can basically come back to US East 1. Let's come back to this. So now let's go to the EFS demo 2. So EFS demo 2, we also have this public IP address. So we can basically do that ++ boom, and then we basically cd into our keys, and then ssh -i we can pass auth 0.pem and then ec2 user -user at that basically. So we're good. So we're good now. Okay, so if you do pwd, so now this is the new instance, and in this new instance I can also mkdir. I can make a directory called Kefir. I can make a directory called Kefir. That's basically my name in this case. Yeah, and ls. And in this directory, I can simply come back here, say attach. Simply come here again to mount this exact one here. So if I come here, boom, I'm mounting it, and then I can say Kefir. Kefir, boom, and I'm mounted. So see, if I go to cd Kefir, and if I do ls, you can see now I have the same exact stuff that was there, that was here. So with one shared drive, we can have everybody else get, we only have one copy of that data originally, being accessed by actual people, instead of people having, having to recopy the same object, into, let's say, your block storage 100 times over to waste storage and cost optimization. So this is how a network EFS file server is actually, actually implemented. Now, so if you do this 6 KB, so it takes a little bit of time to actually have this show you that there is data, so it will scale. Now it still hasn't updated yet to know that now it should be storing about 400 or 500 megabytes of data, but it usually takes time. And if you're patient enough, you will actually see when it changes size. So I hope you're patient enough. Anyway, so basically that is how you implement EFS. Now also, we're not going to do this in this video, but scope. Sometimes you have a lot of data. Let's say you have a lot of data on, let's say, for example, on Amazon S3. Yeah. So what can you do? You have a lot of data on Amazon S3 buckets. Let's say you have like 100 gigabytes of data, and you want people to be able to access that data that is on your AWS S3. Now you can give them access to that data, or you could actually use what you call Amazon Data Sync to actually sync that data from your S3 to your shared drive, and then people can actually use it. So these are just some of the interesting things about this. Now this video is way too long. I'm not even sure if you guys will get to this point, but thank you for coming to my TED Talk.